Hello, my beautiful friend. I want you to know that you've arrived here at exactly the right moment. There's something stirring within you, isn't there? A deep knowing that you're meant for more, that your dreams and desires aren't just wishful thinking, but actual possibilities waiting to unfold in your life. You might be feeling frustrated right now, wondering why the things you want seem to stay just out of reach, despite all your efforts and hoping and wishing. I understand this feeling so completely because I've been there myself, and I've walked alongside thousands of beautiful souls who've experienced this same longing. You know that feeling when you go to bed at night and your mind starts racing with all the things you wish were different? When you wake up in the morning and for just a moment you forget about your worries, but then reality comes flooding back? When you find yourself daydreaming about a better life, a more loving relationship, financial freedom, vibrant health, or whatever it is your heart truly desires, but then you catch yourself and think, who am I kidding? Sweetheart, I want you to know that these feelings are not a sign that something is wrong with you. They're actually a beautiful indication that your soul is calling you toward growth and expansion. Your desires aren't frivolous wants. They're your inner wisdom guiding you toward the life you're meant to live. Every person who has ever created positive change in their life has felt exactly what you're feeling right now. You see, there's something magical that happens when we learn to work with our minds instead of against them. For years, you might have been trying to force things to happen during your busy, scattered daytime hours, when your logical mind is running the show with all its doubts and fears and practical concerns. But what if I told you that you've been overlooking the most powerful time of day for creating the changes you desire? What if the secret to manifesting your dreams has been available to you every single night, just waiting for you to discover it? Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, you're going to learn something that could change everything. You're going to discover how to use those precious moments before sleep, along with 3 other simple practices throughout your day, to finally align your inner world with the outer world you want to create. This isn't about complicated techniques or difficult concepts. This is about returning to the natural rhythm and wisdom that's already within you. Your subconscious mind has been working on your behalf your entire life, even when you weren't aware of it. It's been storing every thought, every belief, every emotion you've ever experienced. Right now, it's running programs that were installed when you were very young, some helpful, some not so helpful. But here's the beautiful truth. You have the power to update these programs. You have the ability to plant new seeds of possibility that will grow and bloom in your life. The practice I'm going to share with you works because it honors the natural intelligence of your mind and body. It doesn't require you to fight against anything or force anything to happen. Instead, it's about creating gentle, consistent moments throughout your day where you can connect with your true desires and allow them to take root in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. When we understand how our minds truly work, manifestation becomes less of a mystery and more of a natural process. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what you're experiencing in your outer world and what you're consistently thinking and feeling in your inner world. This is why some people seem to effortlessly attract what they want, while others struggle despite their best efforts. During sleep, something extraordinary happens in your brain and body. Your conscious analytical mind finally takes a rest, and your subconscious mind becomes incredibly receptive to new information. It's like the difference between trying to plant seeds in hard, rocky soil during a busy day versus planting them in soft, rich earth during a gentle rain. The conditions during sleep create the perfect environment for new ideas and beliefs to take hold. Scientists have discovered that during the relaxed state right before sleep, your brain waves shift into what's called the theta state. This is the same state that young children spend most of their time in, which is why they learn so quickly and why their beliefs about themselves and the world are formed so easily during those early years. When you're in this theta state, your subconscious mind becomes like a sponge, absorbing whatever thoughts and feelings you're focusing on. But here's what makes this even more powerful. During sleep, your brain doesn't just rest. It actually processes and integrates all the information from your day, creating new neural pathways and strengthening the ones you've been using most often. When you deliberately choose what thoughts and feelings you give to your mind right before sleep, you're essentially programming your brain to create new pathways that support your desires rather than your fears. Think about how a garden grows. You don't plant a seed and then dig it up every day to check on its progress. You plant it in good soil, you water it regularly, you give it sunlight, and you trust the natural process of growth. Your desires work the same way. When you plant them in your subconscious mind during that receptive time before sleep, and then nurture them with consistent daily practices, they begin to grow in ways you might not even notice at first. The beautiful thing about working with your subconscious mind is that it never stops working for you. While you sleep, it's processing, organizing, and creating new possibilities. It's working out solutions to challenges you didn't even know you had. It's attracting people and opportunities that align with the new programs you're installing. All of this happens naturally and effortlessly when you learn to work with your mind's natural rhythms instead of against them. Now, you might be wondering why we need to practice this 4 times daily instead of just once before bed. This is such an important question, and the answer lies in understanding how habits and beliefs are actually formed in your mind and body. You see, your current reality is the result of thousands of thoughts and feelings you've had repeatedly over time. These repetitive patterns have created what we might call grooves in your consciousness, well-worn paths that your mind automatically follows. Creating new grooves requires consistent, gentle repetition. It's like creating a new path through a forest. The first time you walk through, you might barely make a mark. But if you walk the same path every day, eventually you create a clear, easy trail. Your 4 daily practices work the same way. Each time you connect with your desires and align with positive feelings, you're strengthening the new pathway and making it easier for your mind to automatically choose thoughts that support your dreams. The timing of these 4 practices is also deeply connected to your natural energy rhythms throughout the day. Your mind and body go through different cycles of receptivity and activity from morning to night. When you align your manifestation work with these natural cycles, you're working with your body's wisdom instead of against it. Morning is when your mind is fresh and open to setting intentions for the day ahead. This is when you can plant seeds of possibility and connect with the feeling of already having what you desire. Midday is when you're usually busy and distracted, which is exactly why it's so powerful to pause and reconnect with your inner guidance. This practice helps you stay aligned with your true desires even when the outer world seems chaotic or demanding. Evening is a natural time for reflection and gratitude. This is when you can acknowledge any progress you've made, no matter how small, and gently redirect your focus if you've gotten off track during the day. And bedtime, as we've discussed, is when your subconscious mind is most receptive to new programming. Each of these 4 times serves a different purpose, but together they create a complete cycle of manifestation that honors both your human need for consistent practice and your spiritual nature that thrives on connection and alignment. You're not trying to force anything to happen. You're simply creating regular opportunities throughout your day to remember who you really are and what you truly desire. The frequency of 4 times daily also works with what neuroscientists call spaced repetition. This is the most effective way to create lasting changes in your brain. Instead of trying to do one long, intense session that might feel overwhelming, you're giving your mind gentle, consistent reminders that help new beliefs and patterns become automatic over time. Think of it like watering a plant. You wouldn't pour a whole week's worth of water on a plant once and then ignore it for 6 days. You'd give it a little water regularly so it can absorb and use what it needs each day. Your consciousness works the same way. It responds much better to consistent, gentle nourishment than to intense, infrequent efforts. When you understand that everything is energy, including your thoughts and emotions, you begin to realize that the environment you create for your manifestation practices matters just as much as the practices themselves. I'm not talking about needing a perfect meditation room or expensive crystals or elaborate rituals. I'm talking about something much simpler and more accessible, creating sacred moments within whatever space you have available. Your mind and body are incredibly sensitive to energy and intention. When you take just a few moments to prepare yourself before each of your 4 daily practices, you're signaling to your entire being that something important is about to happen. This preparation doesn't need to be complicated or time-consuming. Sometimes the most powerful preparation is simply taking 3 deep breaths and setting the intention to connect with your highest good. Sacred space isn't about where you are. It's about how present and intentional you are in any moment. You can create sacred space in your bedroom, your car, your office, or even in a bathroom stall if that's the only private place available to you. The key is learning to shift your energy from scattered and reactive to centered and intentional, no matter what's happening around you. One of the most beautiful ways to prepare your mind is through conscious breathing. Your breath is always available to you, and it's one of the fastest ways to shift from stress and anxiety into calm and receptivity. When you're stressed or worried, your breathing becomes shallow and quick, which signals to your body that you're in danger. But when you consciously slow and deepen your breath, you're telling your nervous system that it's safe to relax and open to new possibilities. Here's a simple breathing technique that you can use before each of your 4 daily practices. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Begin to breathe slowly and deeply, allowing your belly to expand as you inhale and gently contract as you exhale. Feel your chest hand staying relatively still while your belly hand rises and falls. This kind of breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest, repair, and receptivity. As you breathe this way, you might notice thoughts trying to pull your attention away. Thoughts about your to-do list, your worries, things that happened earlier, or things you need to do later. This is completely normal and nothing to fight against. Simply acknowledge these thoughts like clouds passing through the sky and gently return your attention to your breath. Each time you notice your mind wandering and gently bring it back, you're actually strengthening your ability to focus and creating more space for your desires to take root. Another powerful way to prepare your mind is to consciously release any resistance or old patterns that might be blocking your desires. Resistance often shows up as that voice in your head that says things like, "This won't work for me," or "I don't deserve good things," or "People like me don't get what they want." These voices aren't the truth about who you are. They're just old programming that was installed when you were young and vulnerable. Instead of fighting these resistant thoughts, try approaching them with curiosity and compassion. When you notice resistance arising, you might say something like, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm safe to dream and desire now." Or, "I understand you're scared, but I'm choosing to trust the process." This gentle approach helps you move through resistance without creating more internal conflict. Your physical environment can also support your manifestation practices in simple ways. If possible, turn off any devices that might distract you. Phones, televisions, computers. Even if you can't create complete silence, you can usually reduce unnecessary noise and interruptions. Some people find that lighting a candle or having a special cup of tea helps signal to their mind that this is a sacred time. Others prefer to practice in natural light near a window or outside if weather permits. The most important thing is that you feel comfortable and undisturbed during your practice time. If you live with others, you might need to communicate that you need a few minutes of quiet time. Most people are happy to support your well-being when you explain that you're taking time for inner peace and positive focus. Your morning practice sets the tone for your entire day, so approaching it with gentle intention can make all the difference in how smoothly and joyfully your day unfolds. The moments right after you wake up are precious because your mind is still soft and open from sleep. You haven't yet been pulled into the worries and demands of daily life, which makes this an ideal time to plant positive seeds in your consciousness. Before you even get out of bed, take a moment to appreciate that you've been given another day of life. This isn't just about gratitude, though gratitude is wonderful. It's about recognizing that each new day brings fresh possibilities and that you have the power to choose how you want to experience those possibilities. As you lie in bed, feeling the warmth and comfort of your covers, begin to connect with the feelings of already having what you desire most. This is not about thinking about your desires or analyzing them or figuring out how they might come to be. This is about dropping into your heart and body and actually experiencing the emotions you would feel if your dreams were already real. If you desire more love in your life, how would you feel in your body if you were deeply loved and cherished? If you want financial abundance, how would you feel if you never had to worry about money again? If you're seeking better health, how would you feel if your body was strong and vibrant and full of energy? Allow yourself to really feel these feelings, not just think about them. Your subconscious mind responds to feelings much more powerfully than to words or thoughts. When you can genuinely feel the emotions of having your desires fulfilled, you're sending a clear signal to your subconscious that this is what you want more of in your life. You're also raising your vibration to match the energy of what you want to attract. From this feeling place, you can speak gently to yourself about your day ahead. You might say something like, "Today is going to be a beautiful day filled with wonderful surprises," or, "I am open to receiving all the good that life wants to give me today," or, "I trust that everything I need will come to me easily and joyfully." Choose words that feel true and supportive to you. As you begin to move and get ready for your day, try to maintain this positive, expectant energy. Notice how different your body feels when you're in alignment with hope and possibility versus when you're caught up in worry and stress. This awareness alone can help you make different choices throughout your day. During your morning routine, whether you're showering, brushing your teeth, making coffee, or getting dressed, you can continue to nurture these positive feelings. Some people like to look in the mirror and speak kindly to themselves. Others prefer to move their body in ways that feel good and energizing. The key is to stay connected to the feeling that good things are coming your way. If you notice your mind starting to worry about challenges or problems you need to face during the day, gently redirect your attention back to possibility and trust. You're not denying that challenges exist. You're simply choosing to approach them from a place of strength and optimism rather than fear and overwhelm. Your morning practice doesn't need to take a long time. Even 5 minutes of conscious intention and positive feeling can shift your entire day. The goal is not perfection, but consistency. Some mornings you might feel deeply connected and inspired. Other mornings you might feel groggy or distracted. Both are perfectly normal and acceptable. What matters is that you show up for yourself each day with loving intention. By midday, you've usually been pulled into the busyness and demands of daily life. Your phone has been ringing, emails have been arriving, people have been asking things of you, and your mind has likely moved far from the peaceful, positive state you created during your morning practice. This is exactly why your midday reset is so important and so powerful. This midday moment is like coming home to yourself in the middle of a busy day. It's a chance to pause, breathe, and reconnect with what really matters to you. You don't need to stop everything you're doing or find a special place to practice. You can reset your energy in just a few moments, wherever you are. The first step is to simply notice where you are mentally and emotionally. Are you feeling stressed, rushed, or overwhelmed? Are you caught up in other people's energy or demands? Are you feeling disconnected from your own inner guidance? There's no judgment here, just gentle awareness of what's happening in your inner world. Once you've noticed where you are, you can consciously choose to shift back into alignment with your desires and your highest good. This might be as simple as taking 3 deep breaths and reminding yourself that you are safe, loved, and supported. Or you might close your eyes for a moment and reconnect with the feelings you cultivated during your morning practice. If you're at work, you might step into a bathroom or find a quiet corner for just a minute or two. If you're driving, you can use a red light or a moment in a parking lot. If you're at home with children or other family members, you might step outside for a moment or even practice while you're preparing lunch. The beauty of this midday practice is that it helps you stay centered and focused on what you want to create, even when the world around you seems chaotic or demanding. Instead of being pulled off course by every phone call, email, or unexpected event, you become like a lighthouse, steady and strong in your own energy, able to navigate whatever comes your way with grace and wisdom. During your midday reset, you might ask yourself gentle questions like, how can I bring more love into this moment? Or, what would someone who believes in their dreams do in this situation? Or, how can I stay true to my highest vision while dealing with this challenge? These questions help you remember that you always have choices about how to respond to life's circumstances. Sometimes your midday practice might involve making a different choice about how you spend your energy. Maybe you realize you've been saying yes to things that don't truly serve you, or you've been focusing on problems instead of solutions. This awareness gives you the power to adjust your course gently and lovingly, without harsh self-criticism. The goal of your midday reset is not to maintain a perfect state of peace and positivity every moment of every day. That would be unrealistic and unnecessary. The goal is to develop the habit of checking in with yourself regularly and making small adjustments that keep you moving in the direction of your dreams rather than away from them. As your day begins to wind down and evening approaches, you have another beautiful opportunity to connect with yourself and acknowledge the progress you've made. This evening reflection time is so important because it helps you recognize that growth and positive change are happening in your life, even when the shifts feel small or subtle. Many people skip this step because they're focused on what didn't happen or what still needs to change. But when you take time to acknowledge any progress, no matter how tiny it might seem, you're actually training your mind to notice and appreciate the good that's already flowing into your life. This appreciation creates more space for additional blessings to arrive. Your evening practice is like tending a garden at sunset. You're not just looking for the full-grown flowers, you're also celebrating the tiny green shoots that are just beginning to emerge from the soil. You're appreciating the strong roots that are growing even though you can't see them. You're trusting the process of growth and acknowledging that every garden develops at its own perfect pace. Begin your evening reflection by sitting quietly for a moment and thinking back over your day. Instead of immediately jumping to what went wrong or what you didn't accomplish, gently ask yourself, what went well today? What am I grateful for? What small signs of progress can I acknowledge? These might be external things that happened, like a friendly interaction with a stranger, an unexpected opportunity, or a moment when you felt particularly peaceful or happy. But don't overlook the internal progress you've made. Maybe you caught yourself thinking negatively and consciously chose a more positive thought. Maybe you responded to a challenging situation with more patience than usual. Maybe you felt more confident speaking up for yourself, or you noticed feeling more hopeful about your future. These internal shifts are often more significant than external changes because they indicate that you're becoming a different person from the inside out. Sometimes the progress might be that you simply remembered to do your morning and midday practices. Some days, just showing up for yourself consistently is a huge victory that deserves recognition and celebration. You're building new habits and patterns, and every time you choose to prioritize your inner well-being, you're creating positive momentum. If you had a particularly challenging day, your evening practice becomes even more important. Instead of beating yourself up for getting off track or feeling discouraged, you can use this time to gently course correct with love and compassion. You might acknowledge what was difficult while also looking for any lessons or insights the challenges brought you. Perhaps you noticed that certain situations trigger old patterns of thinking or reacting. This awareness itself is progress, even if you haven't yet changed the pattern completely. Or maybe you realize that you're ready to set better boundaries in certain relationships, or that you need to be gentler with yourself during stressful times. These insights are gifts that can guide you toward making different choices in the future. Your evening reflection can also include forgiveness, both for yourself and others. If you said or did something you regret, you can acknowledge it honestly and then consciously choose to forgive yourself and do better tomorrow. If someone else's actions caused you pain or frustration, you can choose to release those heavy feelings before sleep so they don't take root in your subconscious mind overnight. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending that hurtful things didn't happen or that you should accept poor treatment from others. It means choosing not to carry the emotional weight of resentment and anger because these feelings hurt you more than they hurt anyone else. When you go to sleep with a peaceful heart, you create space for healing and positive dreams. Some people find it helpful to write in a journal during their evening practice, noting 3 things they're grateful for and one way they grew or progressed during the day. Others prefer to simply reflect quietly or speak their thoughts aloud. The method doesn't matter as much as the intention to acknowledge progress and appreciate your journey. As you prepare to transition into your bedtime practice, take a moment to appreciate yourself for maintaining this commitment to your growth and well-being. You're investing in yourself in one of the most important ways possible, by taking charge of your inner world and consciously creating positive patterns in your mind and heart. The bedtime manifestation ritual is the crown jewel of your 4 daily practices. This is when your conscious mind begins to quiet down and your subconscious mind becomes incredibly receptive to new programming. Everything you've done during your morning, midday, and evening practices has been preparing you for this most powerful moment of transformation. As you get ready for bed, begin to create a sense of peace and sacredness around this time. Turn off any electronics that might stimulate your mind or pull your attention away from your inner world. Dim the lights, and perhaps light a candle if that feels soothing to you. Some people enjoy a warm bath or shower before this practice, as the warm water helps relax both body and mind. Once you're in bed, lying comfortably on your back or in whatever position feels most natural to you, begin to consciously relax your entire body. start with your toes and slowly work your way up, releasing any tension you might be holding in your feet, legs, hips, abdomen, chest, shoulders, arms, hands, neck, and head. This physical relaxation helps signal to your mind that it's safe to let go and become receptive. As your body relaxes, allow your breathing to become slow and natural. You don't need to force anything, just notice your breath flowing in and out at its own rhythm. With each exhale, feel yourself releasing any remaining stress, worry, or tension from your day. With each inhale, feel yourself breathing in peace, love, and positive possibility. Now comes the most important part of your bedtime practice. Begin to connect with your deepest desires, but not from a place of wanting or needing. Instead, imagine that these desires have already been fulfilled. Feel in your body what it would be like to already be living the life you dream of. If you desire a loving relationship, feel the warmth and security of being truly loved and cherished. If you want financial abundance, feel the freedom and peace of having more than enough money. If you seek better health, feel the vitality and strength of a body that serves you well. The key is to experience these feelings as if they are happening right now, not someday in the future. Your subconscious mind doesn't understand time in the same way your conscious mind does. When you consistently feel the emotions of having your desires fulfilled, your subconscious begins to believe that this is your reality and works to create circumstances that match these feelings. As you rest in these beautiful feelings, you might naturally find words or phrases arising that capture the essence of what you're experiencing. These become your personal affirmations for this desire. For example, you might find yourself thinking, "I am deeply loved and appreciated," or "Money flows to me easily and abundantly," or "My body is strong and healthy and full of energy." Speak these words silently to yourself, feeling their truth in your heart and body. Remember, affirmations work best when they feel emotionally true to you, not when you're trying to convince yourself of something you don't believe. If a particular affirmation feels too far from your current reality, adjust it to something that feels more believable while still pointing in the direction of your desires. Some nights you might focus on one particular desire or area of your life. Other nights you might touch on several different aspects of the life you want to create. Trust your inner guidance about what feels most important to focus on each evening. Your subconscious knows what needs the most attention and healing. As you drift closer to sleep, maintain these positive feelings and thoughts as long as possible. Don't worry if your mind begins to wander or if you fall asleep in the middle of your practice. The seeds you've planted in those precious moments before sleep will continue to grow in your subconscious throughout the night. Your subconscious mind will spend the next several hours processing and integrating these positive feelings and beliefs. It will begin to create new neural pathways that support your desires rather than your fears. It will attract opportunities and synchronicities that align with the new programming you've installed. All of this happens naturally and effortlessly while you sleep peacefully. Even with the most beautiful and powerful practices, you're likely to encounter some challenges along your manifestation journey. This is completely normal and nothing to be discouraged about. In fact, challenges often indicate that you're making progress and that old patterns are being cleared away to make room for new, more positive experiences. One of the most common challenges people face is doubt. Your logical mind might start questioning whether these practices really work, especially if you don't see immediate external changes in your life. When doubt arises, remember that transformation often happens first in your inner world before it becomes visible in your outer world. You might feel more peaceful, hopeful, or confident before you see specific circumstances change. Doubt is also often a sign that you're challenging old beliefs and patterns that have been with you for a long time. Your ego mind, which has been trying to keep you safe by maintaining familiar patterns, might resist change even when those patterns no longer serve you. When you notice doubt, respond to it with gentle curiosity rather than fighting against it. You might say to yourself, "I notice I'm feeling doubtful right now, and that's okay. Part of me is scared to believe that good things can really happen for me. I can understand this fear and still choose to continue nurturing my dreams." This approach acknowledges the doubt without letting it stop you from continuing your practices. Another common challenge is impatience. You might find yourself checking constantly for signs that your desires are manifesting, or feeling frustrated that changes aren't happening as quickly as you'd like. When impatience arises, remember that you're working with natural laws and rhythms that operate on divine timing, not human scheduling. Instead of focusing on when your desires will manifest, try to find joy and satisfaction in the practices themselves. Notice how much more peaceful and positive you feel when you're consistently connecting with gratitude and possibility. Appreciate the small shifts in your perspective and energy levels. These internal changes are actually the foundation for all external manifestations. Resistance can also show up as excuses for not doing your practices. You might find yourself thinking that you're too busy, too tired, or that it doesn't really matter if you skip a day here and there. When you notice this kind of resistance, lovingly remind yourself that you deserve to invest these few minutes each day in your own well-being and dreams. Sometimes resistance appears as self-sabotage. You might start manifesting what you want and then unconsciously do things that push it away. This often happens when part of you doesn't believe you deserve good things, or when you're afraid of how your life might change if your dreams actually come true. If you notice self-sabotaging patterns, approach them with compassion and seek to understand what fears might be driving these behaviors. Inconsistency is another challenge that many people face. You might be enthusiastic about your practices for a few days or weeks, then gradually let them slide. When this happens, don't waste energy feeling guilty or starting over with renewed intensity. Simply begin again gently, wherever you are, with love and forgiveness for yourself. Remember that building new habits takes time and patience. Some research suggests that it takes anywhere from 21 to 66 days to form a new habit, depending on the complexity of the behavior and individual differences. Be patient with yourself as you develop the rhythm of your 4 daily practices. If you find it difficult to remember your practices, try linking them to activities you already do consistently. For example, you might do your morning practice right after you brush your teeth, your midday practice before you eat lunch, your evening practice while you prepare dinner, and your bedtime practice as part of your regular bedtime routine. The most important thing when facing any challenge is to be gentle and patient with yourself. You're learning new ways of thinking and being that may be very different from patterns you've had for years or even decades. Treat yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer to a dear friend who was learning something new and important. My beautiful friend, as we come to the end of our time together, I want you to know how proud I am of you for being here, for being open to new possibilities, and for choosing to take an active role in creating the life your heart desires. The very fact that you've stayed with me through this entire journey shows that you're ready for positive change and that you have the commitment and courage to make it happen. You now have 4 simple but powerful practices that can transform your life from the inside out. You understand that your subconscious mind is always working on your behalf and that you have the ability to program it with thoughts and feelings that support your highest good. You know that consistency and gentleness are more important than perfection and that every small step you take matters. Starting tonight, you can begin implementing these practices in your own life. Remember, you don't need to be perfect or do everything exactly right. You just need to show up for yourself with love and intention, trusting that each time you connect with your desires and positive feelings, you're creating real and lasting change. Some nights your bedtime practice might feel deeply meaningful and transformative. Other nights you might feel distracted or tired. Some days all four practices might flow easily, while other days you might only manage one or two. All of this is perfectly normal and acceptable. What matters is that you keep coming back to these moments of connection and intention. Your dreams and desires are not accidents or frivolous wishes. They are your soul's way of calling you toward growth, expansion, and the fullest expression of who you really are. You deserve to live a life filled with love, abundance, joy, and fulfillment. You deserve to wake up each morning feeling excited about the possibilities your day holds. You deserve to go to sleep each night feeling grateful for the blessings in your life and excited about what tomorrow might bring. Trust the process, even when you can't see immediate results. Trust your inner wisdom, even when the world around you seems to suggest otherwise. Trust that you are worthy of all the good things your heart desires, even if old voices in your head try to convince you otherwise. As you begin this beautiful journey of conscious manifestation, remember that you're not alone. There are countless others around the world who are also choosing to take responsibility for their inner world and create positive change in their lives. You're part of a growing community of people who believe that we can each contribute to healing and love on this planet by first healing and loving ourselves. Before you sleep tonight, place your hand on your heart and repeat these words with me. I am worthy of love, abundance, and joy. I trust the wisdom within me to guide me toward my highest good. I am grateful for this opportunity to grow and create positive change in my life. All is well in my world, and better things are coming. Sweet dreams, dear one. May your sleep be peaceful and restorative, and may you wake tomorrow feeling refreshed, hopeful, and ready to embrace all the beautiful possibilities that await you. The universe is conspiring in your favor, and your dreams are already on their way to you.